Hey contestants, I'm Zed, and today we're going to be going over the patch notes for Season 4 of the Finals, so let's get straight into it. First up, this season introduces sponsors. Players can sign up with Halto, Njimo, or Resulti, and earn fans through contracts and performances in the arena. Choose carefully, however, because you only get to sign with one sponsor each season. On the rank side, we have Platinum and Diamond ranks that have been added to World Tour, and Emerald is easier to unlock with win points starting right at the beginning of the season. For competitive players, ranked tournaments are back in an 8-team 24-player format. Teams are seeded based on strength, and the new format gives a more authentic experience. There are also cash-out rule variants this season. Ranked tournaments have become more competitive with team-wide penalties and the removal of game show events. Meanwhile, World Tour keeps it casual with no penalties and additional loadout customization options. Speaking of loadouts, we have 2 extra loadout slots, meaning you can make 2 new contestants, and I don't know who'd want that, but if you want it, it's there, so that's pretty great. We also have a new setting that's been added to the game that is called Static Crosshair. I think this is important to bring up because it's awesome as it reads. For those who prefer a precise aiming experience, there's a new Static Crosshair setting. You can lock your crosshair to the center of your screen for consistent aim no matter what. And that's that. I thought my crosshair was already stuck to the middle of the screen, but I guess not. We have new facial hair customization features that let you select a variety of beards and mustaches to give your competitor a fresh and sophisticated look. Let's dig into the updates that matter the most: guns, specializations, and equipment. Starting off, we have alternate sights and scopes. Now you can switch between traditional sights, red dots, and scopes on select weapons. And even on some, there are original iron sights. These are unlocked via VRS through the weapon customization screen. The 93R got some vertical recoil changes, making it more consistent. The fire rate was increased from 210 RPM to 220 RPM, and the bullet dispersion is pretty drastically reduced, it says here. The AKM magazine size was decreased from 36 to 32 rounds. The CL40 grenade launcher max damage increased from 93 to 117 to make it more effective against heavies. Fire rate decreased from 275 RPM to 210, and the max damage radius increased from 9 centimeters to 30 centimeters. With the dagger, the backstab secondary attack can now be held and only triggers when the button is released, allowing for a more strategic play, and the player can move at a normal running speed during this stance. The Lewis gun horizontal recoil has been smoothed out to make it easier to control. The LH1 had a massive fall-off nerf. The damage fall-off starts at 50 instead of 80, and the end range was reduced from 100 to 55. This is to prevent it from competing with the sniper rifle with the new optic that it has. The MGL32 had a reload time decreased from 3.1 to 2.8. The recurve bow minimum damage gone from 55 to 60. The ramp up starts sooner at 0.15 instead of 0.2. The maximum draw is reached faster from 0.49 seconds instead of 0.585 seconds. The riot shield damage increased from 84 to 90. The SH1900 shotgun had its reload time decreased from 2.5 to 2.1. With the heavy spear, the run speed modifier during the secondary spin attack increased from 65% to 75%, giving you more mobility while attacking. The SR84 sniper now is a hit scan up to 40 meters, but after that it becomes a bullet drop weapon. The sword attack sweeps have been updated to be more centered on the crosshair for better accuracy. The range of the lunge has been increased from 5 to 6, and the secondary lunge attack maintains its top speed slightly longer, and that's 5 to 6 meters. Throwing knives, the secondary attack can now be held, but you can only do it at non-sprinting speeds. The XP54 magnification on the sight has been increased, and the damage has been decreased from 18 to 16. Specializations and equipment changes: dematerializer, targeting improvements. The goo gun add fire mode chains from semi to full auto. The healing beam is now 40 health per second instead of 50 health per second, so that's a nerf. And the mesh shield now enters a cooldown when either destroyed or lowered. The cooldown has been reduced from 15 seconds to 12 seconds, and 8 seconds if the shield is undamaged when deactivated. The anti-gravity cube had its radius increased from 6 to 7 meters, and the height increased from 11 to 12 meters. The breach charge ammo count has been increased from 2 to 3, but the cooldown is increased from 26 seconds to 30 seconds. The data reshaper range has been increased to 21 meters, and the number of charges has increased from 2 to 3. The explosive mine max damage decreased from 140 to 120. You can only have one. That's the ammo count now. instead of 2, but you can still deploy 2 mines, and the cooldown reduced from 30 seconds to 15 seconds. The flashbang blind duration has been increased from 4 seconds to 4.5. The intensity of the flashes has been increased when detonating near enemies. The hit indicators only show when you actually flash someone, and the flashbangs now have been improved to detect when you've hit enemies more often, and they've reduced the blind effect on your teammates. The jump pad has added slight variants to prevent objects from bouncing on them indefinitely, such things as catch outs. So if the catch outs are bouncing on it, it'll bounce off into a direction where it can get off the bounce pad for fair play. The proximity sensor has been increased from 10 meters to 11 meters. The RPG has been severely nerfed, damage increased from 140 to 100, and the reload time has been increased from 0.9 seconds to 2.15 seconds. The projectile dispersion when aiming down sights, however, has been reduced for more precision and destruction, I guess you could say. With the tracking dart, the magazine size has been increased from 2 to 4. The ammunition regeneration rate has been decreased from 13 to 12 seconds, that is. And tracking duration reduced from 15 seconds to 10 seconds to prevent prolonged reveals. And the zipline, the height has been slightly decreased on the model, allowing it to fit better through doors and enclosed spaces. I forgot to mention that the M60 got a fire rate change, which includes a buff of 560 to 580 RPM, and the recoil pattern was smooth, making it easier to control. And that is all we have for the patch notes in Season 4. There are very few more that just didn't seem important, such as bug fixes. There's no point to go over those. So I went over all the additions and all the major changes that will affect you, and I hope you guys enjoyed. It has been me, Zed, and I hope to see you guys in the arena. Peace.